Hi all, I am going to solve out problem number 5 on the stoichiometry worksheet. So the problem says hydrogen gas can be produced by reacting aluminum metal with sulfuric acid. How many grams of sulfuric acid are needed to react with 150 grams of aluminum? All right, so first thing we need to do is come up with what our balanced equation is. So we have aluminum plus hydrochloric acid. You guys need to remember how to write your acids. Sulfate is a 2, hydrogen's a 1, crisscross. Okay, and that's going to yield aluminum sulfate plus hydrogen gas. Don't let it telling you the different states of matter throw you off. Okay, that can be really confusing if you look at things when it says metal, gas, solid, any of that can kind of mess people up. Don't let it. You know that if it's talking about hydrogen, you're talking H. It's talking aluminum, it's just talking Al. Just because they throw on something like metal or gas. Don't let that throw you off. All right, so we need to balance this one out. So we're going to have 2 aluminums, 3 sulfuric acids. That's balanced already, and we'll have 3 H2s. Okay, take a moment to look at it if you're kind of confused as to where I got the answers from, because you need to really understand that for the rest of all the worksheets. Okay, once we have that balance, then we need to look at our problem and see what else we know. So in the problem, it tells us we have 150 grams of aluminum. Now, can we put grams of aluminum inside the BCA table? Okay, we're going to be doing the BCA. No, we can't do that. Only moles gets to go in here. So we do need to figure out how many moles 150 grams of aluminum is. So solve that out. Pause this if you need to go through and figure it out. I'll solve it down here. So we've got 150 grams of aluminum. Looking on our periodic table, we got 26.98 grams aluminum for every 1 mole of aluminum. When I calculate that out, I get 5.56 moles of aluminum. Okay, so now I can use that number in my table. Okay, so I can go ahead and plug that in. So I've got 5.56 moles of my aluminum. Now, when you look at the whole problem, you can look and see if you are using all of these in the problem. In this particular case, we do not have either of the products mentioned, so we don't even have to worry about those, okay, just to make your life easier. Before you go scribbling it all out or using Sharpie like I am, make sure that you don't need it for something later on. All right, so what the question is asking is how many grams of sulfuric acid are needed. So what we need to find, we're not going to find grams in here, but we can find our moles and then do our conversion to figure that out. All right, the other things that we automatically know that we can mark down is we know that this is going to be minus 2x. And I've changed the colors on you just so that you can see where the 2 came from. And this one is going to be minus 3x when we are all the way done. All right. It's dealing with our molar ratios, our mole to mole ratios. All right. So we've got, this is how much we are starting with. If we assume the whole thing is going to go to completion, that will mean that nothing is going to be left. All right, so let's just assume that. So as that goes through, this is going to be all consumed, and we can actually figure out mathematically what this is. So we've got 5.56 minus 2x equals 0. And in essence, it's 5.56 divided by 2. We talked about that a lot in class as to how you can look at that. And what that ends up being is x is going to be equal to 2.78. Okay, and so we can also plug in 2.78 over here in order to figure it out. When we then plug that in for x, then we will find that we have a total of 8.34 moles of that. But we're not done yet, okay? So now we have to go and we have to figure out how many grams that is. So if I bring that over here, so I've got 8.34 moles of H2SO4. All right. Sorry, kind of running out of room over here. So that is equal to, we've got 1 mole of H2SO4, and its molar mass is 98.07 grams. So the answer to that whole problem is going to be 817.90 grams of H2SO4. Okay, so that's my final thing. So go back, sorry, let me move that up a little bit. Go through things slowly. If you're having trouble with it, look and see if you are trying to include things that you don't even need. I mean, it doesn't even mention the products when it's dealing with numbers or anything, so you don't even have to worry about them. I am going to be posting the keys, so do your best to do everything before you look at the keys, have an answer, then go back and check the key and see how you did. I'm available. Let me know if you guys have any questions.